Water is life. I think you'll find that in just about every language in the world. It's no different in Tacoma. It's no different in our community. It's the vitality of health, it's business, it's everything. The Green River Supply has been Tacoma Supply for 100 years, and the safe and reliable water that people will need for their businesses, for industry, for their homes, will come from this project. It is the long-term, reliable supply that my family will use.
When customers go to their tap, they expect to get safe, clean water, and we've been doing that for over 100 years out of the Green River.
In the early 90s, there was an outbreak of cryptosporidium that entered the public water supply of Milwaukee and made a lot of people sick and actually killed a lot of people. That exposed the risk to crypto in a broad scale, and regulations were strengthened as a result to make sure that that didn't happen again.
We had two choices for treatment. One, filtration to remove organisms. The other, ultraviolet light disinfection. Very, very effective at killing cryptosporidium. The challenge we had was that we don't have much cryptosporidium.
We felt very strongly about needing to engage our public to talk about this very complex decision in a way where they understood the trade-offs. Treating with ultraviolet light would meet the regulation at the time, but it didn't provide enhanced water quality benefit for the future. And filtration is a very comprehensive solution to treatment, and it's one that I think very likely will stand the test of time and show that our policymakers today were as insightful as those 100 years ago. There was allowed an alternative approach to delivering the project, allowed in the state law, which would be something called General Contractor Construction Manager, GCCM for short.
One of the main reasons we selected GCCM is this is a pretty technical project. We have an existing plant that we had to maintain, keep in operation while we built all around it. And we knew there was going to be a lot of constructability issues related to that. And the GCCM process allows you to bring that partner on early.
They're a participant in the design, looking at it through the lens of constructability. How are we going to build this thing? How are we going to lay out the structures? Where am I going to put my cranes? How will I move people in and out? All of those facets of consideration aren't there in a normal design bid build project.
We delivered this project as promised, on time and under budget. I'll put that back on us having such a great relationship with our design engineers and our construction manager. And not only that, but just to see it grow from the design on the piece of paper to actually what it is today out in the field, and the fact that it works.
Filtration starts really with the source, the Green River water coming through an intake facility that screens out the big stuff, trees, leaves, things like that. Then the water comes down to the plant. Then we add ozone. Once the water's ozonated, it comes into the plant. We add chemicals to help the particles that are in that water stick together. They're slowly mixed. And that slow mixing helps those particles run into each other. They get heavier and heavier and heavier, and then a lot of them will settle out in a sedimentation process in the large basins before they get to filtration. And then it passes through a 70-inch deep bed of filter media where those contaminants will stick to the media grains. And then once that's done, it is treated with chlorine, with a pH adjusting chemical, caustic soda, to prevent the water from being corrosive. And we add fluoride for dental health. And then the water's stored and sent to town. This is the single largest project the utility has ever done. No one at Tacoma Water working had ever built a filter plant. As you might imagine, I think from the policymaker through executive leadership, through the staff, there was a sense of nervousness about pushing this thing forward. But I also think there was a confidence and a realization that this is what we needed to do.
We had to keep our existing plant running the whole time, and that was all on us to do, fulfill the needs of the project and keep it going, and keep the water safe and clean for the customers. That was what we did during this last 3 years.
It is so rare in a person's career to be involved in a startup. This plant is our plant now. We helped design it, we helped build it, and now we're operating it and maintaining it. That's the exciting thing for me.
Continuing to be a part of it is what's exciting. This is the largest plant within 3 states, and it's a water treatment milestone.
We all take a great deal of pride in what we do. I think from the operators who staff this filtration facility to the people in town who make sure that water is continuously available. We have a great deal of pride in the work and in the product that we provide. The unfiltered supply was an awesome supply for 100 years. But it wasn't the best product possible, and we knew that. Though safe, this is better. And I think the anticipation of really believing in the product you're sending out at the end of your plant was and continues to be a strong motivator for people to come to work here every single day.
There are many places in the world where you cannot let your child open the tap and take a glass of water, but we don't give it a second thought, and that's the way it should be, and we're really proud of that.
It was really about providing the very best we can to our customers to assure they're safe, to assure that the supply is reliable. And that keeps me going, and I think it keeps the staff at Tacoma Water going.